What is up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, aka Harry Squatter, here to educate you on health, fitness, and social well-being. Today, guys, we're talking about rest and recovery.
I am the greatest.
Someone with power! Someone with power! Someone with dash! Someone with power!
So basically, I just want to go over this topic really briefly because it seems to me that there's a lot of confusion on rest. I'm sorry, just so you guys know, I'm doing this video with my phone, so I'm trying to look at the camera, but I'm also kind of, looking at myself. Anyway, there seems to be a lot of confusion on what rest days are actually for, as far as how many do you need a week? Do you need rest days at all? Is it optional? Everything like that. So let's get right into it. So starting off, guys, understand this, that the whole point of quote unquote rest days is simply recovery. As I mentioned before, guys, you aren't growing, you aren't getting stronger while you're in the gym. That's when you're providing the stimulus for growth and the stimulus to get stronger. And whenever we're eating and getting the calories that we need, that's when we're giving our bodies the fuel it needs to grow and get stronger. But when we're resting, when we're recovering, that's when you're actually getting stronger. That's when you're actually getting bigger. That's when your muscles are actually doing the growing. So most people understand that. Most people understand that recovery is vitally important when it comes to making gains. What people don't seem to understand is like how that works in terms of like actual rest days. So let me start by saying that, as usual, it depends, guys. If you're someone that's on, for example, a full body split routine, then yes, you will need actual rest days, because if you're going in hitting every single muscle group in your entire body, then the fact is you're going to need that next day off, because like I said, protein synthesis lasts 24 to 48 hours. You'll be hitting every muscle group every 48 hours or so. But that also means that you need to give your muscles enough time to actually recover and grow before you hit them again. So if you're going in and hitting your entire body, that means that it's pretty important that you give your entire body enough time to rest. Now, let's say you're on something like push-pull legs or some type of body part split. It's going to be a little bit different, for the mere fact that if I'm on push-pull legs, then let's say I do chest, tris, and shoulders on Monday, my push group, right? That means that technically on Tuesday when I'm doing my pull and on Wednesday when I'm doing my legs, my push muscles are resting. Those days are the rest days for that muscle group. So yes, I'm not physically resting, but those muscle groups are resting. They are recovering in order to get the growth that they need. So it's different in that sense, guys. Now, some people, like I said, with push-pull legs will do push-pull legs, and then rest on Sunday. So a lot of people have the question of, well, if you're working a different muscle group every day, what do you ever need a rest day for? Well, it's because it's understanding, guys, that not only when we're working out are we working our muscles, but we're also working our nervous system, specifically our central and peripheral nervous system. So it's important to understand that that needs rest as well. So that's why a lot of people do, every 6 days take that 7th day off for that reason. Or at the very least, they go in and don't do anything really heavy. They don't hit their usual major compound movements. They'll maybe go in and just hit some light ab work or arms, something of that nature. But regardless, it's still a quote unquote rest day. Think of it more as active recovery. And it's really as simple as that, guys. That is the importance of having quote unquote rest days. As far as how many you should have or how you structure them, there is no set rule for that. It all depends on how you train and how hard you train and how intensely you're training. There are some people that work out 7 days out of the week, but like I said, 1 or 2 of those days isn't going to be like really taxing on their nervous system. They'll go in and do, like I said, some light arm work, some light ab work. Maybe they're like your boy. Maybe they go in and they hit some calves. But the point is, rest days are important in the sense of our muscles and our nervous system need to recover, but you don't have to actually physically not do anything. Some people, they may not even lift that day, but maybe they'll go and that's the day that they do their cardio, or maybe they do plyometrics or calisthenics or athletic work, whatever it may be. The point is, you aren't required to have a certain amount of rest days, if that makes sense. And at the same time, there's nothing wrong with setting certain rest days based upon your training style. At the end of the day, this is one of those things, guys, where there's a little bit of wiggle room. It comes down to what works best for you. With that being said, I will say that no matter who you are, assuming that you're natural, because like I said, guys, it's different when performance enhancing drugs come into play, because those guys technically, if you want to be, they don't necessarily need rest or recovery, because that's what the drugs are for. It does the rest and recovery for them. It keeps them in that constant state of growth and protein synthesis. But for the rest of us, you will get to a point where you do need to just take some days off, just because your body can only do so much for so long before you start seeing, slack in your progression. And like I said, guys, I've said before, working out, your progress isn't linear. If it was, then everyone would be lifting thousands of pounds. You do eventually get diminished returns. This is how it works. As each year goes by, you may be working harder, you may be stronger, but you're not getting as strong as quickly as you were when you first started, when you're out of your beginner game phases. So for that reason, it's vitally important to have those rest days every now and then, where you just have a day where you just, just relax and don't do anything, whether they're planned out or whether you just auto-regulate, whether you just wake up and you're like, man, I'm just not feeling it today, you don't go in. Now, I'm not saying that to be use it as an excuse to not go work out, not to go to the gym, but that's honestly why I think it is important to maybe plan out certain rest days depending on what type of program you're on. Like I said, for me, even when I was squatting every day, I did my usual squats with my push-pull legs Monday through Saturday, but on Sunday, I would come in, do a very light variation of squat just to get the movement in, and then I would rest. That's it. Maybe on occasion, sometimes hit arms with it, a little bit of light ab work, just if I was feeling it, but that's it. So even with that, I had that, that active recovery, that rest day. So no matter what kind of split you're on, guys, it's important to understand that rest and recovery is just as important as the work you put into the gym, because you can work out every single day killing it and not grow and not get stronger if you're not giving your body any time to rest and recover. It is important. Like I said, for natural lifters, it's not a choice. It's not an option. It's kind of like progressive overload. It's one of those things that you have to do, because like I said, when we're in the gym, we're providing the stimulus for growth. When we're eating, we're giving our bodies the fuel and energy for growth. But when we're resting and recovering, that is when we do most of the growing, which is why most of your growing actually happens while you're asleep, because it's optimum rest and recovery time. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's pretty much it. Not a very long video, hopefully. But I just wanted to address this topic because it's a question I get asked on and on again, which I don't mind, guys. Love the questions. I really appreciate it. I love the growth that I've had, not only on this channel, but on my Instagram, having people reaching out to me, messaging me, and always feel free, guys. Like it says in my Instagram bio, ask questions, I will answer. I answer every single question that I get. I get to everyone eventually. But yeah, guys, that's why I decided to do this video, just to address that topic, because like I said, it depends on the split you're on. So, rather than think of it of like absolute terms of you have to have this many rest days or, oh, don't rest at all, you really have to look at your training, what type of split you're on, and what type of intensity is involved with it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, it's a pretty simple topic, but wanted to just address it and get it out the way. And that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button, comment, share. I'll make sure I look at the camera. Subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch y'all later.
I am the greatest.
Someone look color.